Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Porterhause Skyrim Mod Reviews. I'm Porterhause. Now, before we get rolling, I just wanted to let you know what was going on last week. First off, my father-in-law passed away. I got a lot of notes from condolences. I did put up a special announcement to let everybody know. I got a lot of notes of support, and I thank you all very much for that. That's part of the reason why I love my subscribers. So, in any case, I was asked to make a memorial video for him. I was very fond of my father-in-law, so I was more than willing to do so for the family, and all of my efforts were wrapped up in that. Then on Saturday, when things had calmed down a little bit, I thought I might slip in a quick mod review, one or two mods. Unfortunately, when I fired up my game, I kept getting crashes to desktop every time I loaded to the menu screen. Now, there are several reasons why this might happen, and I changed absolutely nothing since the last time I played. So, didn't remove any mods, didn't add any mods, it just started crashing. Now, as I was saying, there are several reasons why this might happen, and after running down all the usual suspects for about 8 to 10 hours, I just couldn't pin down the cause. So in the end, I ended up reloading my Skyrim from scratch. I deleted the local content, deleted the folder, deleted my Nexus Mod Manager Skyrim folder, and started over completely from scratch. Now, in the way this has worked out to my advantage, my freshly loaded game runs much smoother, and I took the opportunity to update several mods. I also switched EMBs from Real Vision, which I liked, to Opeth Felt, which, to be honest, I did not like at first. And then I started fiddling with the settings a little bit, and now I absolutely love it. If you're looking for an ENB, I would recommend it. So anyway, not enough about that. I want to show you 3 mods that really caught my fancy. The first is Steadfast Follower Zoe by Rireki. Now, Zoe caught my eye for a couple of reasons. The first is that her listed race is Nord Centurion, which I thought was unusual, and I love unusual followers. She is a cyborg blend of Dwemer technology and a Nord, which, until recently, I guess, from the mod page, she was stored and forgotten in the ruins of Kegramez, and then somehow made her way out and wound up in Riverwood inside the Sleeping Giant Inn, which is where you will find her. Now, the second thing that caught my attention was that she has an unusual attack. When she fights, she conjures these Dwemer Centurion arms that take the place of her real arms, and she attacks, hammering her opponents like they were tent pegs or splitting them like they were cordwood. Now, in addition, she has a ranged attack. It's a ray. I didn't quite understand how that worked. I caught several instances of it on video, so you'll get to see what I'm talking about. She also summons this little Dwemer companion that will heal her and also cast lightning bolts. Now, I've nicknamed him Sparks, so if you hear me refer to Sparks, that's who I'm talking about. Now, the mod page wasn't long on specifications, but the body type seems to be CBBE based on a very curvy custom preset. Zoe has demoniac skin, eyes of Aber, and uses chaos hairdos. There's several other mods that were all put together very skillfully and melded to form this beautiful and deadly follower. Now, the mod does say that she has a custom voice, but what the mod author actually meant is that she makes Dwemer Centurion noises, steam huffs and that kind of thing when she's speaking. Now, I thought this was really charming. It was a great idea. All in all, she is a very fun and very sexy follower. Next up, we have the Stormcloak Hero Armory by Suran 329. Now, this is a wicked cool weapon and armor set consisting of a one-handed sword that you can convert into a two-handed sword, and I will tell you more about that later, and also a shield. Now, the sword and shield are meant to be unique items, therefore you cannot craft them at the forge. Instead, you can find them in Ulfric's quarters inside the Palace of the Kings in Wilhelm, and there's a little backstory on the mod page that explains their presence there. It's a good read. I suggest you check it out. Now, all 3 of these are covered in this absolutely gorgeous knotwork, and the shield has the Bear of Eastmarch as part of the knotwork on the face, and then it has this roped edging, so it's absolutely beautiful. Now, you only find the one-handed sword and the shield in Ulfric's quarters. If you want the two-handed version, you need to sacrifice a human heart at the forge in order to change it to a two-handed version, and if you want to change it back, you'll need another human heart. So now I absolutely love the way this war gear looks. It's a little dirty, a little tarnished and scratched like any war gear carried by a man through a war. This is something I look for and like in a weapons mod. Suran did a fantastic job on that little bit of detail, which really shows me that he cared about what he was working on. Now, according to the mod author's page, the shield and sword were created with a unique blend of corundum, iron, and ebony. So at the grindstone / workbench, you will need corundum, steel, and ebony ingots to improve both the sword and the shield. Now, I was absolutely stunned to read on the mod page that this is Suran's first published mod. Now, if this is the first, I cannot wait to see what comes next. Finally, we come to Fancy Bows by RobZom. Now, I will admit, when I first saw this, I was kind of meh, another bow mod, but then I took a closer look, and I am really, really glad I did. This mod turned out to be quite a little gem. These bows are absolutely gorgeous, and the animated effects on the bows are uniquely beautiful to each bow. Now, RobZom made 10 of these bows, and you can look at a complete list on his mod page, along with the perks that you'll need to craft them at the forge. You can also create a greater version of all the bows except for the acid and the blood bow. Obviously, the greater version does more damage. All of them can be improved at the grindstone with an ebony ingot and can also be enchanted. Now, the bows look great in both first person and in third person, and I can really appreciate the work that he put into creating them. This is a fantastic bow mod, one of the best ones I've seen. So now we come to my favorite portion of the review here, where I will take Tish out with her new companion and her new gear, and we're going to test everything out. I'm going to switch between the one-handed and two-handed version of the Stormcloak Hero Sword, and try out as many of the bows as I can fit into the review. But before we do that, I have some stills that I'd like you to take a gander at, and then we will move on to the action clips, and then after that we will do a wrap-up, and I will give you my opinion and the thoughts on these mods. So sit back with a cool drink, relax, and enjoy. We will be back in a bit. Whoa! Well, you can see why the action clips are my favorite part of the review. I get to play the game, I get to try out the new mods I've downloaded, and generally have a good time. Now, speaking of mods, Zoe, and it is actually pronounced Zoe, so you heard me call her Zoe at the beginning, but I had emailed the message author who got back to me, and where he's from, Z-O-E is actually just pronounced Zoe and not Zoe. So I just wanted to clarify it. Now, this cyborg girl can whoop some serious booty. The parts of the action clips where she just slammed her opponents across the map was just frickin' hilarious and amazing at the same time. And honestly, when she went into full-bore Centurion mode, she turned just a little bit scary. Now, there was not an opponent that we came across that she couldn't just beat the crap out of. I mean, she took on dragons, draugrs, bandits, and just whooped the snot out of them. So she is very powerful, so keep that in mind if that's what you're looking for. Now, she is extremely well made. The mod author took this combination of mods and made this beautiful follower who's sexy and just deadly as hell. Now, my only complaint with her is that the noise that she makes while walking and running can get a little annoying after a while. It is fitting and appropriate that she has the Centurion walking noises, but due to the volume and having to listen to it for a while, it does, like I said, does get a tad bit annoying. My only suggestion would be to edit the audio for her walking and running animations and lowering it by about half. Other than that, Zoe is a terrific follower. Rireki did a fantastic job with her. I recommend you download her and try her out. We also took a look at the Stormcloak Hero Armory, and I am still just wowed by how good this sword and shield, or swords and shield look. Suran 329 obviously put a lot of work into making this mod, well, perfect as far as I'm concerned. Now, don't judge the two-handed sword by the way Tish was handling it. Most of her perks are in one-handed weapons, so she was kind of having a hard time with it. Now, I did improve everything at the grindstone/workbench, but didn't really enchant anything because I wanted you to sort of see it at a base level. The knotwork and other decorative touches made these weapons and armor really stand out. One of the things I really liked about this mod was the fact that Suran included a good-looking sheath to go with the one-handed sword, and that is always something I look for in a sword mod. My only suggestion? More weapons. I would love to see a one-handed and two-handed axe to go with this. This is a beautiful, beautiful mod. I am definitely keeping this for my game, and if you're looking for new weapons and armor, then this mod is for you. Finally, we took a look at Fancy Bows by RobZom. Now, I am so glad I did not overlook this mod. There are a lot of bow mods out there, so for this one to get my attention, it means it is something special. The animated effects made the bows really stand out, and they looked as good in first person as they did in third person. One of the best touches, I think, to the mod was the noises the bows make when they're equipped, which really added to their appeal. Now my favorite bow of this mod was the flame one, which I'm probably going to use as Tish's regular bow with the obvious fire enchantments to go with. There are some issues that the mod author is aware of. Some of the bows are partially or entirely invisible in the inventory, the forge menu, and the grindstone menu, but for me that is far from game breaking, and I'm sure the mod author is working on that. So if you're looking for a bow mod with some pizzazz, then you really need to try this one out. Now before we go, I want to say all the mod authors did a beautiful job on their mods. I recommend you download and try out all 3. If you love them as much as I did, make sure you endorse them and maybe vote them up for File of the Month. Stop by the support thread on the Nexus and leave the mod author a note saying how much you appreciated their work. Also, if the authors have a mechanism in place for doing so, donate some cash. Everyone could use a little extra money in their pocket, and it'll encourage them to keep on modding. Now lastly, I want you to hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed my video, and please subscribe if you have not already done so. And I will see you all in the next mod review.